Thanks to the supporters of channel member Seth B. It's playoff party time, boys and girls. Brace yourselves for us potentially going back to back. Hello and welcome to part 10 of El Director Deportivo. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our quarterfinal in the CLAUSURA playoffs or championship games or whatever they're called. And we've got away and then home against San Luis. This is how the season finished. We did have a little bit of a dodgy run in the league towards the end, including a 5-0 win away against Pachuca, who ended up finishing third, pushing us all the way. But we did finish top. We actually finished top both times, which is nice. There you go. Do we get a combined? We can't get a combined league because they are actually two different things. That's annoying. I thought we'd actually get a combined league. But, I mean, there you go. There was the Apertura table. 41 points. Only 34 this time around, but still enough for us to finish top. So, in normal world, we win the league. As it is, I suspect we won't win the Clausura because we don't really have a striker. And I think that's going to be a difficulty in these knockout games. One thing I have noticed, though, some positive news. I've talked in the last couple of episodes about how we're going to be losing our loan players this summer. What I didn't realise is Mike's a genius. When he brought them all in last summer, he signed them all on 2-year loans. Gonzalez, Montes, Lainez, Alvarado, all on loan until the end of next season. So we don't need to replace those guys. We literally just need to replace Macias this summer. I hope you're listening, Mike. We need a striker because Peralta's retiring. So that's another striker gone. So if we have a look at the team report, the team depth, we only have Vega, Cisneros. That's it. We need a striker. I hope Mike understands that. This is where we're going to really learn if directors of football and Football Manager actually do anything useful, or is he just going to bring in another winger? Because he's signed 2 wingers. 2 of his 4 signings have been wingers. We need a right back and we need a striker. Do not give me another winger. So this is the team for the first leg against San Luis. We've got Godinho in goal. A back four of Ponce, Briseño, Maya and Brizuela. Molina at the base of midfield. Villalpando and Gonzalez ahead of him. Lainez and Antuna supporting Vega up front, who is now fit. And I guess is now fit and is a striker, really. So maybe he can be the guy. Alexis Vega, 22 years old, already 5 caps, 1 goal. He's got decent potential. He's no Macias, but he is our best striker. He hasn't been playing as a striker all season. He's been playing as a winger while Macias was still here. Similar sort of situation to with Macias. They basically wanted to be on either wing with a striker in between them, and the situation has forced both of them to end up being our strikers. But he's getting an opportunity to play up front now he's fit. He's not exactly taking it, but then he is still recovering from an injury. So hopefully we'll start to get some better performances out of him today. If he doesn't perform, I don't see how we get through these playoffs. But let's see, shall we? We certainly should be good enough to get past San Luis because they finished 8th. We finished first. Even without a striker, we should be able to get past this lot. So the difficulty will come when we start playing the likes of Monterrey and Pachuca, who have proved difficult opposition to us throughout the season. Interestingly, Club America, our big rivals, who did beat us way back in episode 2, and I was talking about how, oh, there you go, Vega's already scored, 20 seconds on the clock, proving he's a striker. Lovely stuff. But Club America, who beat us earlier on in the year, and I thought, well, that's it. It's going to take a while to catch up with them. They've finished 4th bottom. They're not even in the playoffs. They've had a terrible second half of the season. Considering they finished 3rd or 4th in the Apertura, it's weird how they've fallen off so much in this second half of the season. But they have. There's your proof that it could happen. Presumably they must have lost some players as well, but I can't imagine anybody lost a player as important as Macias was to us. But there you go, Vega finally stepping up and proving that we don't miss him at all. We have the production line going, our Mexican youngsters, and we have another one ready to come through and just step into the void that's been left in the squad. Lainez down the left-hand side looking to get into the area. In fact, looking to get a crossover. Ends up back with Lainez again, who's now got a shooting opportunity. And what a goal from Diego Lainez. It's 2-0 on 16 minutes. And we are looking very good for a semi-final spot already. And that's a very, very good goal. Lovely stuff from Lainez. I mean, if I was Betis manager, I'd be looking at him, looking at the form he's been in for us this year, looking at the fact he's playing regular international football, wondering why on earth I agreed to a 2-year loan back to Mexico. It's absolute madness. They might have a recall option. It might be that we lose one or some or all of these players in the summer anyway, but we are paying loan fees for all of them. So presumably, if there's a loan fee, there's no recall option. I think that's how it usually works. So I think I was a little bit critical of all the signings being loans initially, but actually by bringing in 2-year loans, Mike's kind of allowed us to be a more settled team than we might have been if he'd have brought in players permanently who then get sold on. Because at least we know with Macias, we were always wondering when he was going to go, how much he was going to go for, and he was kind of sold out from under us when we weren't really expecting it. Whereas Lainez, we know when he's going. I can plan for the next year having him in the team. So I know I've, at the very least, got 2 wingers for the next year because I've got Alvarado, I've got Lainez. We're unlikely to sell out Antuna, I would say, because of his value and the fact he's not really even a regular starter for us. So wingers, we know we've got wingers. We're sorted for wingers for a little while. We know we've got at least one good centre-back in Montes. We know we've got at least one good midfielder in Gonzalez. That's nice. I like that. That's better than owning them permanently. Lainez, he's got Ponce on the overlap and he's in a huge amount of space here. Can he get the crossover? In fact, he gives it back to Lainez again, who he in turn crosses. It falls to Molina. Molina now plays it into Villalpando. Villalpando has a shot. Vega picking up the scraps. A second goal of the day for him. An 8th goal of the season for him. And Vega's become a striker, boys and girls. Oh, and I was so excited about it, I had to sneeze. Apologies for them. Jump cuts. Ooh. But, sneezing. You don't want to hear me sneeze. Let me know down in the comments. You might want to hear me sneeze. You want to hear me sneeze? Let me know down there. I can sneeze for you. Perhaps I'll do an OnlyFans. But it's just Kev sneezing. Only sneezes. Lollujo only sneezes. Just me sneezing all day long. Leon is having a 4.7 for San Luis. They're one of their centre-backs. He's not having a very nice day, is he? Presumably, in fact, not presumably at all. He's the right-sided centre-back. He's the guy who's got a deal with Lainez, just cutting inside constantly, and he is not enjoying himself doing it by the looks of it. 3-0 up at half-time. Could be more. Probably should be more, but 3-0 away from home is fine, and there's going to be time in this second half to add a couple more probably. I'm more worried about the fact we're accumulating yellow cards in our back four again, because I know there were a few players back there who were very close to suspensions already. And the fact that there's more yellow cards being dished out suggests we might have some suspensions incoming as we head towards a semi-final. And like I say, the semi-final is going to be a much tougher game than this one. I think we've kind of got a pretty solid quality of top 4 here in Mexico. Everyone below the top 4, they're comfortably beatable. But top 4, certainly challenging. Vega's got a hat-trick. He's good, isn't he? Mental note for next year, we don't show the quarterfinals in the playoffs. We assume we get through the quarterfinals. I hope we are in the Champions League. My plan for next season is we're going to have the Champions League games and any really big league games or league games if it looks like we're struggling. But Champions League games, cup games, because apparently the cups are a big deal in Mexico, which I didn't realise. But I'll try and take the cups a little bit more seriously next year. So really big league games, cups, and then the playoffs from the semi-final onwards. I think that's probably a decent mix. Look to get through a season in 8 or 9 episodes rather than... I mean, if we win the CLAUSURA here, it's going to be like a 12-episode season, which is a little bit longer than I'd normally do because I've been feeling the league out. We did, I think we were 6 episodes in before we got to the first set of playoffs, which if I'd have known how much of a foregone conclusion the league was going to be, we wouldn't have spent that long getting to the playoffs. We'd have just got into the playoffs quick. So I expect the seasons to be a little bit shorter and snappier as we look to develop a team that can go and win the World Club Cup. That's the plan. We want that, which means we need to get into the Champions League ASAP, which I think we already are, although we've not had qualification confirmed, so who knows? But once we're in that, I think we have to win that, and winning that gets us into the World Club Cup, and that is what we're really looking to win. We want that World Club Cup, because if we can compete on that level, then we know this is a really good side. Lainez now tries to get the crossover, can't get it past his fullback, and it ends up getting cleared, but only as far as Brizuela, who has got 2 men on him. That's our right back that they're putting 2 men on to mark. Maya now charging forward from centre-back, gives it to Brizuela. Brizuela can't get past his man again. They are doing a good job of stopping him being a big overlapping threat, but they're 4-0 down. They probably should have thought of that a little bit earlier. Although, to be fair, none of the first half danger came down this right-hand side. It was all coming down the left, and that is a good goal. It's a goal back for San Luis, and it's a very, very good goal. Let's have a look at this from the other angle. It's the goal of the game, that's for sure. Their guy brings the ball down nicely, plays it into, I think, their right back, and a lot of space. What a goal. Where's my mouse gone? I need to make a change. I can't be having us concede stuff like that and not make a substitution off the back of it. Right, why can't I get on here? There we go. So we're going to take off Maya. We've got to take somebody off to show that it's not acceptable to concede that. We gave that guy too much time and space to hit his shot. So let's change our centre-back. Make sure we get some closing down in there now. And hopefully, I mean, we get Montes back for the second leg, I think. I think he's suspended. So he should be back for the second leg. But of course, both him and Gonzalez on loan from Monterrey. So if we end up facing them again as part of these playoffs, similar to how we had in the Apertura final, they won't be able to play in that either. So Maya's likely to play some football in these playoffs. Yeah, Villalpando with the free kick, and it goes just wide. And I think that's probably going to be the final attack of the game. It's 4-1 away from home. Now we just need to bring them back to our place, do it all again, and see who we're going to get in the semi-final. Good work from Alexis Vega. Told you he was a striker. Well, nothing can go smoothly in the playoffs. If you remember earlier in the season, players started dropping like flies at this stage. It's happening again. Villalpando is now going to be out for the rest of the season. He's broken his arm and he's going to miss the next 5 to 7 weeks. So that is our best player gone. Luckily, we have Montes back, so he can come back in alongside Brezeño at the back. Calderon is back in at left back. Beltran coming in central midfield to replace Villalpando. And we've also got Antuna on the right hand. Was Antuna in there before? I don't think he was. Who did I play on the right wing in the last game? I think it was Antuna. Then we moved Vega out there as the game went on, didn't we? I picked my team, and then Villalpando got injured and I had to re-pick it. And now I've got myself all kerfuffled and can't remember who was in there before. San Luis have just scored again. Now, they scored late on in that first leg. They've now got a very early goal in this second leg. We are still 2 goals clear. I am a little bit nervous. I mean, the next goal absolutely has to be ours. If we don't score the next goal, then this could be a big upset that's going to really put egg on my face after I've talked about the quarterfinals being too easy. I'm not going to show you them in future. I'm going to look like a right Wally if we let this lot sneak past us, especially as reigning Apertura champions and the team that finished top of the league, both halves of the season. We shouldn't be losing to this lot. Ugh. I mean, even if we win the tie, we shouldn't be losing the game. It's been a terrible performance so far. We're 1-0 down. This is us without Villalpando. We're not the same side. Lainez is now nervous as well. We've just no one's bothered today, it seems. They think job is done from the first leg. Clearly, I wasn't clear enough when I told them that I didn't want them to get complacent for the second leg, because we need form and momentum going into the semi-final. Beltran's done brilliantly there, but the shot is saved by their goalkeeper. We do have a corner, though, and with Montes back in the team, we're always going to be dangerous from these corners. It's Calderon with the in-swinger. It's looking for Brezeño, actually, at that near post. It's back with Calderon to try and get the cross in. Again, he does, and Molina looking for the spectacular effort, but it goes straight into the San Luis defender, and they try a counter-attack, but forget that you need players involved and just lump it forward, and the move just peters out, and everybody's happy. 25 minutes of the game remaining. We still have shown nothing in the way of attacking intent in this game. We're going to bring Cisneros on again, push Vega out wide. We don't have another right winger on the bench. So I guess Lainez could go over there, actually. We just take Vega off. Lainez can go over there as the inside forward. We played him there quite a lot this season. And we're going to take Montes off because he's not having a good game. Simple, really. They're not playing well. They don't get to play. They're the rules. Colron, ball over the top to Angulo. Angulo, crossing position, finds Cisneros, and he could not convert the chance. Cisneros, of course, one of the heroes of the playoffs earlier on in the season, has found himself drifting out of the team again as the second half of the season has gone on. Is he going to find a way to force himself back in and become a hero again? Is he just going to be that unlikely guy who is rubbish all season long, but perhaps he's a big game player, turns up in the playoffs, scores important goals, and he's just going to become a cult hero? I'd quite like that if that happened. Brazela with the cross. Angulo's there, and we do have an equaliser on the night. At least we're not picking up a home defeat against a team we know we're much better than. Angulo, first goal of the season, 1-1 on the night, 5-2 on aggregate, 89 minutes on the clock. It shouldn't have been this hard, and it shouldn't have taken this long, but at least we do have a goal. Looking at the other matches, it looks like Puebla have knocked out Monterrey. This is all over the place, these playoffs. What is going on? So we've made it through, but I need to see who else has made it through, because it looks like the playoffs have entered Crazy Town. Skip forward a day. When do we get the fixtures? Come on, we need fixtures. We need to know who we're playing. There you go. Semi-final draw. So it's us, Tigres, Atlas, and Puebla. I cannot believe the team we beat 8-0 on the first day of the season are potentially going to be our opponents in the final at the end of the season. It's Puebla. We've got them in the semi-final. Right, well, we know we should batter them. How on earth did they get past Monterrey? Comfortably is the answer to that question. Well, we know we can beat Puebla. Hopefully we beat them again tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.